Hey guys, one more video on the Inside Spurs channel. A happy Sunday morning. Happy game day as well. Obviously, 7 p.m. tonight. Weird, I know, 7 p.m. UK time on a Sunday for a game. It's a bit odd. But obviously, Southampton versus Spurs. So we're talking about the game. We talk about really what it looks like at the moment in the Premier League. And I think talking about some of the games that happened recently and maybe, I don't know, maybe subduing some disappointment potentially. You'll see what I mean when I get to it. Just want to say, if you're watching this, you subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. I hope I can say that later when we've won a game, by the way. You know me, we don't say it after we don't win a game. But yes, look, Southampton today is a real opportunity to bounce back. I think a lot of people will talk about, we need obviously to win. That's, what well, honestly, I've blown your mind there. But a lot of people will also talk about, the idea of, hey, we need to play well. And I think it's been quite a theme of Spurs' season this year that you'll play well for 15 and 20 minutes, or you play well for a half or 60 minutes, and then you drop just that sort of 5%. In football, it's never like you drop 30%. You drop sort of 2, 3, 4, 5%, and the other team gets back in the game. And I guess the idea of us not officially killing games off by missing continuously in front of goal, killing off a game today, I think would be a real, even though they're bottom of the league, I totally get the bottom of the league, and it's not, you're playing Man City away or playing Liverpool away or whatever, but regardless, they're a Premier League side. No Premier League side is a bad side. Killing this game off, and let's say you went out there and you won 4-1 today, right? I don't think we will, but I'm just hypothetical. Let's say you went out there and won 4-1 today, and let's say they get a late goal back right at the end. So you've won 4-0, they've gotten the 4-1. You'll still get people to be upset, but that's just because they're upset in their own lives. But for the most part, people will go, that is what we wanted to see, right? And it's difficult right now with the sheer volume of issues that Spurs are facing to actually get one of those games. It does sort of feel like at the moment, just get by. That's the kind of view that I have in all this. Just get by. In the league, in the cups, in Europe, all of it. Just get by, because we are down so many players, and just saying we've got about 14, 15 players that we can truly choose from. It's pretty hard to rotate doing such a thing, right? But regardless, today for me is just a game to win. I'm not going to sit here and say I expect to play well. I'm not going to sit here and say we need to win by multiple. For me, it's just go out there, win. Don't look like you're about to fall apart every time they attack. That's the only things for me. Because, and I know people will sit there and go, but it's Southampton, mate. You should, we should be going out there and dominating and doing this and doing that. And I get that. I do get that. And I'm not going to poo-poo that idea if you think that. Just for me, just by looking at this, the situation of the club right now, I just can't fathom the idea of Spurs going out there and slapping them for multiple. I'm just hoping to win. That's really where I'm at right now. I was looking at the fixtures of this weekend, and I think actually probably made me feel a little bit better about Spurs, ironically. And we haven't played, which, by the way, if you know me, I'm a New England Patriots fan. This is eating into my NFL watching time, and the Patriots play just after 9 o'clock this evening. So Spurs finish, Patriots start, and if they both lose, I've had the worst about 5-6 hours going. So let's hopefully that doesn't happen. All right. But when we look at this week, and we sort of look at the league table now, obviously there are still teams still to play. You still got Man United have got to play Man City. That's still to play. Brighton have got Palace today. That's still to play. Do West Ham still play today? Am I being an idiot? Hang on. West Ham playing today? Yes, they are. Oh, they play tomorrow. Sorry, they play tomorrow. West Ham on Monday Night Football away to Bournemouth, and you have Chelsea, Brentford today as well. Plenty of football on. Okay, bit odd to have that many games on late into the weekend. But looking at the league table, you'd sit there and go, "God, Spurs are 12th. Oh no." A win would have us obviously back into 10th, and actually a win would have us 2 points behind Aston Villa, who are in sixth. And it would have us 5 points behind Forest, who are in fourth. Okay, so obviously I'm not really considering City, who are in fifth at the moment, because obviously City's still to play. They could win, they could lose, they could draw. I don't know. It's the same with Brentford are obviously in 10th right now. If they were to draw, we're not going to be 10th, are we? So there's that, right? It does sound depressing, but actually, when you look at the points tallies, it's not as bad as we all think. Sorry, I missed a few. Morning, Spurs. Dragon, how are we? Morning, Rec. Insika, how are we? You're really optimistic about the potential freshness and hunger that could be introduced into that midfield. It's not ideal, but hey, when you get given lemons, make lemonade. We should win this game, and I hope the players have learned something. The team needs to start a winning streak again. Well, look, let's just see how we go, really. Obviously, we're actually weaker today. We're weaker today than we are previous. Obviously, losing, Mickey and Romero, we know that. Ben's obviously still gone. We're still missing Vicario. Vicario's not going to be out. Vicario's still not going to be out for another 10 weeks, maybe even longer, which is a bit of a worry. 10 weeks? No, I'm being an idiot. Yeah, it might be 10 weeks, end of February. 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks, something like that, I reckon. Still missing Bentancur. Now we're missing Basuma. Still missing Richarlison, Moore, Odobert. All these guys, regardless. Missing Basuma, as much as he has made mistakes recently, and I'm not going to defend him on them. But it is a competent professional that you are losing out, and it just stretches you that even further. Now, maybe the weekend off does him a bit of good and gives him some rest. Maybe that's the way we should look at it. Find the positive in all the negative situations. And Man United in the week and the cup. Maybe that's where we're at with that. With obviously that, we'll keep an eye on Manchester United situation in terms of do they get any injuries and what have you, because they play at 4:30 away to Man City. So we'll keep an eye on that, really. Hey, Cozy, how are you, mate? We took a lot of L's recently. Next week, Liverpool at home. Yeah, Liverpool at home next week. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Hey, Mighty Cockerel, how are you, mate? So, looking at that, it's obviously not great on the face of things, but actually, when you dig it just a tad bit deeper, it's not too bad. I mean, 11th to 6th is separated by 2 points. 9th to 5th is separated by 3 points. So it's just a bit of a bonkers old season so far this year. So, but the other thing is as well, winning this game is going to be important for the long run, because there are games in hand to come. So get your points on the board early doors. I've always been a fan of that. I mean, the other thing is as well, I think, looking at maybe how some of us all feel towards Spurs at the moment, all I'm going to say is, our Fulham draw doesn't really look all that bad recently. They beat Brighton. They drew to Arsenal. They drew to Liverpool. That doesn't look too bad. And Brighton drew against Leicester. Brighton are just basically like us, aren't they? Obviously, Arsenal drawing with Everton 0-0 yesterday, playing some of the worst football I've ever seen. Then drawing Fulham. It's just saying it's not always Spurs that are doom and gloom. This game must be won, if only to allow some injured players to come back and perhaps Ange to reverse the rot. By the way, what happened with Bentancur's appeal? We don't actually know yet. I don't really know what's happening with that. There's been no news about it. I mean, the thing is, he's. Let me just bring it up here. So we obviously have one more game in the week of the EFL Cup, or the League Cup, if you're old like me. And then we've obviously got Liverpool at home on the 22nd. Now, the appeal, I assume, probably is going to be rejected, by the way, because that would be the 6th game. No, that would be the 7th game, and then he'd be back for Forest on Boxing Day. Because obviously the League Cup game in the week counts towards the ban. Obviously, if he got the appeal accepted, all they would do is knock a game off of the appeal, and he would, in theory, be back for Liverpool. But we've not heard anything, and the game's in a week, so I'm pretty sure the appeal probably got rejected, if I'm honest. I haven't checked the internet enough. It's a miserable place at times, so I've not checked it enough. But I would say it has been rejected. So we will have Bentancur back on Boxing Day for our trip to Nottingham Forest. So, so it's something. It's something. It's another body back. I did talk about this. Sorry, really quickly. I did talk about this. So I'm bringing up my calendar again. I think Ben Davies will be back on Boxing Day as well. It's just a guess of mine. I know nothing. It's just that would have been 3 weeks since he had injured himself, and it's hamstring. So I'm thinking 3 weeks is probably about long enough. So I think he'll be back for Forest. I mean, look, if he's back for Liverpool, impressive, but I don't think he will be. Yeah, I think he'll be back for Forest. So there you go. And obviously, Mickey and Kuti are going to be out for a long old time yet. We've won 6 and lost 7. So that means if we win today, we're actually level with that, you know? We're level with that. It's part of progress. It's a fault of the board that the club is a mess. Well, yeah, agreed. Levy the donkey. Sorry, that's a missed comment. Any news, updates on Mickey and Kuti? Well, Kuti's going to be out for probably about 5.5 more weeks. And Mickey is going to be out for a few weeks from the injury. So I reckon it'll be early Jan we get Mickey back, maybe mid-Jan. Ben will be maybe just a little bit before that, but you know, there won't be. I don't think there'll be much between them. I'm always saying how hopefully the board stick on their word and back Ange in the next windows. Well, put up or shut up, you know. Do you believe the club is going in the right direction in regards to the managerial profile? I like Ange. I'm very much one of the Ange supporters. My key thing in all this is think of all the managers that we've had, let's say in the last 10 years. Okay, how many really good quality managers Spurs have had? You know, you have got treble winners like Jose Mourinho, right? Of all the managers we've had, Jose, in terms of winning, is the best manager we've ever had. In probably since, let's say just under Daniel Levy, right? Best manager we've had in terms of winning. Won all the trophies you could possibly want, right? Conte, he's won a double. I think he won a double at Chelsea. He won the FA Cup and Premier League. You know, obviously he's had no real success in Europe, but he's won Serie A's, he's won Coppa Italia's. You know, he's won things as a player as well. Obviously Nuno's had some decent success in the Premier League. He did all right at Wolves. I know he sort of left, and this before Wolves, you know, had this this interesting situation at Wolves. I'm not going to talk about it. If you haven't seen it, go have a look at it. It was carnage yesterday at Wolves against Ipswich. And let's be honest, not any of them have been truly well supported. Now, I will push back a little bit on the idea that every manager should be giving every player that they want. It's not physically possible. Okay, it isn't. But you need to be hitting the majority at least. You know, if you're buying 5 players, you need to be buying 4 of them. Really, you know, minimum 3 at the absolute worst, but 4. We don't hit any. I don't even think we hit 2 at times. You know, yeah. Let's put Levy in goal and see how it feels to be kicked in the cherries when your board doesn't back your team. Fair enough. Mourinho second in Turkey and won trophies with Roma. Yeah, he won the first Conference League. Should have done at least 2 marquee signings last summer on big wages. Well, yeah, but they didn't want to do that, did they? They wanted the wages down so they can get better investment, which we're now in December and we're nowhere near closer to any of that investment. Just like the stadium has no named rights yet. We're how many years in? So it's all a game. It's all this to keep you looping on. That's why I think recently, anytime that Ange speaks or anytime a player speaks, I just take a step back and not react. I sort of read it, try and think if there's anything that they're trying to get at, maybe behind closed doors that we don't think about there and then react. Because I think recently there's been a lot of subtle digs from a lot of different people. And it's been interesting to actually try and listen without talking and just listen and just get a vibe and then see. I mean, look, Giovanni Lo Celso. I mean, as much as, you know, people, they like Gio, they don't like Gio. I mean, Let me just find his comments yesterday because he was defending Romero. Yeah, he said, this is on Romero talking about the Spurs owners. All right. He's saying, hopefully they realize who the real responsible ones are. Obviously, Coetzee said that for a reason. And for me as well, to be honest, there are many strange things. I prefer not to spread open a fan I cannot close, but it was very weird, very strange last season. If there was something that kept me afloat, it was the fans. The club is now in transition. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think all of us have to take a responsibility. Jesus, Gio, you've got more sense than so many people to do with Spurs, and you're playing in Spain. Just make sure you tell Cardoso to stay fit and healthy and keep improving. That's one thing I would say, Gio, mate. Thank you very much. But he's right. He's absolutely right. You know, Romero is right as well. And Romero feeling he had to apologise. I don't think he apologised for the message. I think he apologised for the way he did it. You know, straight after a game and things like that. I don't think for a second Romero is actually sorry for what he said. And I hope he wouldn't be. You know, same with Conte. Conte started apologising for what he said. And I was like, don't apologise, you're right. And then he, bricked it and apologised. And went back on his word. So, that's why, as much as I think Conte's a good manager and I respect for what he said, I can't truly respect for what he said because he absolutely pooed his pants as soon as Daniel Levy came knocking at his door. So, nah. The revisionism is hilarious. I've seen even on Twitter going, oh, look how good Pierre Højbjerg is. It's like, chief, settle down. He wasn't great for Spurs towards the end for what we truly want in this system. He's a good player. I've always said he's a good player, but not for this system. And he's playing in Ligue 1. All right. Lucas, oh god, here we go. The Star Wars puns are out. In regards to style of football, I don't like it. We should be getting the best out of players. Yeah, I mean, I would say so, but also, Michael Cockrell, if you're down, 10 players, it's quite hard to rotate and be able to get the best out of everyone. You're having to play people probably, there's some of those players I think are probably exhausted at the moment, and you're having to play them because who else can you play? Look at today. You've got Bergvall, you've got Sarr. Who's the other 6 or 8 that can play? Madison and Kulu are kind of like 10s, so I won't count them. And Archie Gray, in theory, could play, but he's going to be playing centre half. So it's Sarr and Bergvall that are 6/8s. Got to work with what you got to work with, and that's. I want to talk about this midfield situation in a second. Just going to get a few more of your comments before I go in there. If I'd have bought it serious and winning something, absolutely, that would have been nice. I don't think we'll change names. No, we won't. Names won't change now. But Conte went after the players, not really the board apart from that quote 20. Well, yeah, that's the thing. I have no issues with the manager going after a player. Like what Ange said about Timo, I somewhat understand it if that's your last resort. Like if you've spent months going like, Timo, I need more from you. You behind closed doors, like, Timo, I need more from you, mate. And the thing is, he backs his players in the media, right? And Conte did it. Conte was always about saving himself, to be fair. Who's a good one? Jose actually probably defended the players more than Conte did. Actually, I think, let's go Poch. Poch would defend the players as much as you want. But if he came out after months and months and months of them not performing and said, look, I need more from him in the media and going, I need more from him, he wasn't good enough. I'd sit there and go, it's probably his last resort. He's trying what he can do. I've always said it's better behind closed doors, but if you've been doing it and doing it and you get no change, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, So hopefully this isn't just an out of the cuff burst, and I don't think it is. And I don't think even Conte didn't throw his players under the bus after, a game. He did it after a long time. He did it when he realised he wasn't getting what he needed. Mourinho did the same. I don't remember Nuno's press conferences. He was only here for about 3 minutes, so I don't remember him. Even Poch at times, Poch at times, he wasn't always buddy. In the media, he had to say a few things here and there. So, got no issues with it. Maybe I'm old school, I don't feel for the managers that have come to this club, mate. Their pay packets and payoffs have been fantastic. Imagine we had Porro and a doggy dominated as flanks. Imagine we had some health to go with it. Andy, mate, yesterday Robinson from Fulham had to prove to me that he should be a doggy. I like Robinson. Hey, I like Ait-Nouri, but I can't lie. After watching Ait-Nouri's antics after Wolves, I don't know as much. But Robinson is fantastic at Fulham. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Would cost a pretty penny, I would tell you that. But yeah, can I just talk about the midfield quickly before I wrap up and let you all go enjoy the rest of your mornings / afternoons / evenings, wherever you are in the world. Midfield, I want to get what you think on this. Now, obviously, in the comments, and obviously, if you're watching this back, in the comments down below, hit me with your idea. Are you going to go for the sort of Pape, Lucas, Maddison route with Kulu on the right? Are you going to go for a Pape, Maddison, Kulu? Are you going to go Pape, Bergval, Kulu with Johnson on the right? I want to know what you think on that, because this is a really interesting situation. Will they go for both the guys that can play the 6 and the 8 to a degree, and Bergval and Sarr with a Maddison or a Kulu in the 10? For me, if I had to really go for it, I would say I'd want Kulu on the right. I'd want Kulu on the right. Obviously, my other two, Sonny and Solanke, I think, everyone could expect that. I want Kulu on the right. I want my Maddison in the midfield with Sarr and Bergval. That would be, I think, where I would be. I just want to bring up Southampton's team from last time out, so I get a bit of an idea as to the team again, because I've completely forgotten. So they lost to Villa 1-0. I mean, Google reckons they were playing a 5-3-2. Yeah, I would play Kulu. Looking at that, if that's the case. Yeah, okay. Right, I've got my answer. Sorry. I've missed a few comments. So, all right, we reckon we got Maddison, Kulu, Bergval, Maddison, Kulu, and a holding mid. Morning, EZ, how are we? EZ, yeah, I noticed you haven't been here. How are you, my friend? Hope you've been okay. Sarr, Madders, and Bergval in the midfield. Okay, yeah. Your first session, give Johnson a break. So Johnson be bench. I would say Johnson be bench. Yeah, Janice, in that regard. Pape, Lucas, Madders with Kulu on the right, because Brennan holds onto the ball like a wet bar of soap. Didn't see that one coming. Kulusevski, a player, but so freaking consistent. Kulu, I thought I put my hands up. I didn't think he was playing well against Rangers, and then scored. And I was like, I mean, fair play. I mean, what more can I ask of him? I think, the reason why I would like, there's two schools of thought in my head, with Pape and Bergval being the 6 and 8, and interchanging within that if necessary. Obviously, I like the idea, or I've been really liking the cameos from Bergval. Energy, physical for a young kid, lots of physicality. He seems to put some pace on his passes as well. A lot of our players, it rolls to the other, it rolls to a doggy, it rolls to a Porro, and then by that point they've got in position. He's firing this ball into people, because it means by the time you've got a touch, they can't have adjusted yet, and you've got a chance to then do something with it. And I like those two playing together, because I thought they were important against Rangers. I thought they were those two were two of the bigger reasons why we got back into that game. And Southampton like to get on the ball. They do. They do like to get on the ball. And that's why I think I want to see Maddison play. Because I thought Maddison, when he actually ironically dropped a bit deeper, and Bergval actually moved up the field a little bit more on the right at times, with Kulu obviously being on the right wing as well, I thought Maddison played so much better when he was actually a little bit deeper and facing. Because I think Southampton will press us at times today. And I think a game like that, with Maddison being able to face up to it instead of having his back to it, I think will be important. Pape's energy, I think hopefully, because Pape didn't play too many minutes in the week, hopefully he's got some energy for the weekend. He's played a lot recently, so I hope he's got a little bit of energy for the weekend. Obviously, Lucas should have energy for this game. And if things aren't going the way you want it to go, and maybe Lucas was to get substituted, obviously you could put Kulu into the midfield and you put Johnson out onto the right, maybe. That was my one school of thought. The other school of thought is it'd be nice if, let's say Pape was the 6 for today. Maybe it's the way of, well, you could always bring in Bergvall to come in to play that position. I don't think he would. I think Ange prefers him at the 8, where he's not defensively liable to anything, because obviously then he can get back, with obviously Pape being that guy. Look, I don't think Pape, I like Pape. I think Pape is a better 8 than he is a 6, but for today, you've got to work with what you got to work with, Getting Kulu involved in the middle, saying you win the game. Interesting, Polly. Hey, Scepter, how are you, mate? Thank you very much. Thank you for your nice comment. We need 6, 7 new players to back out. We need more than that. I would love to see Lucas and Archie in the midfield at some point. Maybe not together. Well, Archie will be centre back. He'll be locked into centre back, mate, until we get some bloody centre backs fit. We need a game changer midfielder. Our players are so consistent on, including Madison. So on. You never know. You never know what Cardoso could be like. Truly. You see how Dybala played against us. That's a game changer. Dybala's had a really crap season, to be honest, mate. Roma have been really crap this season. So he's had a good game against us, but he's just been inconsistent as well. Shroomsy, how are you, my friend? It's been a little while. Shroomsy, because you're American, you can help me out on this one. All right. Screw the Ravens. No. I've got my NFL fantasy football playoff starting next week. I need to win today to make sure I'm 4th. So it's top 4 into the playoffs. I'm 4th. All I'm going to say is Derrick Henry better go big for me today. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Shroomsy, give me some backup there. Tell me that I'm going to be in there, because Kittle didn't give me enough on Thursday night against the Rams. I want to see Bergvall and Decky play more together, whether they're at club level or international level, they play more together. They'll be better for us. Well, hopefully so. Hopefully so. Put a lot of energy in the first half and get a couple of goals and manage to get match preserve our players for the quarterfinal. Man U. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Obviously, the irony is Man United aren't resting players into that game. Man United have got a bigger game than midweek. They've got the Manchester Derby today at 6:30. So I'll watch that game. I'll be watching it, being like, oh, is he going off injured? Oh, is he getting suspended? Because suspension's a key thing here. If you get a suspension, it does count towards that quarterfinal. I don't know how many players we've got close to suspension. I don't know if I'll be able to find out. I think that this might tell me. Okay. We got no one at risk because Basuma was the only one at risk. So there you go. I don't know if Man United got any suspensions at the moment. No. Man United are quite healthy. Good Lord. Must be nice. Yeah, we'll have to see then. Bergvall at 6. Sorry. I think they'll interchange potentially, Barney. I think it might interchange a little bit. I think I'd probably start Sarr at the 6 to start off with, and then maybe Bergvall may drop in there at times. I've been thinking Madison needs to turn into a CDM playmaker like Hakan Çalhanoğlu. That's bold of you, Bold Musa. Don't worry, King Henry going to go off. Yeah, I think he will. Obviously, with the Giants being so crap. I've got AJ Brown, which is always quite fun, the whole... the passing is crap for the Eagles. So hopefully they do it. I'm predicted to win by 8 points, that's tight in American football. So let's see. But yeah, I could do with. I'm going to have to get Goff back in the team instead of Mayfield against the Bills. Sorry, it's turning into American football. When we signed, I expected a free roam player all over creating chances, whipping balls in. Maddison creates a lot of chances. We just don't bloody take them. I'm thinking Johnson needs to start to give us some belief if he can't pick up his game against this team. I don't mind. Well, people were telling me in the week that they reckon Johnson's a bit tired. So start Johnson on the bench. Give him 30 minutes into the game when the other team's a bit more tired, you know. Summers too important time at the 6. No, I'm not saying lock him in at the 6, but I think have him at the 6 maybe to start whilst, you know, whenever you go play away in the Premier League, no matter what team you are, the first 20 minutes are always a bit chaos. I'd have Pape then there, allowing Lucas to play in a position where maybe it's not as dependent on him, you know, that's all. And then maybe you can obviously change it up as the game goes on, you know. Really such an important match. We need 3 points. We do need those 3 points. We do know these 3 points. I want to see Bervo play. Hey, Van Goffman, how are we? And yes, I want to see him play as well. Obviously, right, 7 p.m. this evening, 7 p.m., Southampton away. I probably won't do a live after the game. If I'm honest, the Patriots will be playing. NFL is going to be on. I think there's 5 games on at 9 p.m.-ish. So the review will be out Monday morning, all right? Maybe put Gray at 6 on a centre-back. Who the hell else are we putting at centre-back, mate? Van Gogh, if we don't play Gray, you're playing me at centre-back. And I'm not very tall, so don't do that. When do we play Man United? We play him on Thursday? Wednesday? Wednesday or Thursday? Hang on. Spurs versus Man United. Thursday. 8 p.m. There you go. 2-1. I love that. Bobo could be just 6 early on. I don't know. It's just I like Pape for the 6 to start off with, and then play Bergvall through there every now and then. Pape at 6 with the potential start of Premier League games. Then they're coming if it's Lucas may shine through afterwards. Maybe so. But yes, thank you all so much for joining me this morning. Go and enjoy the rest of your mornings and afternoons. I'm going to go walk the dog. All right, I'm going to go do something fun, and I will be back tomorrow to speak a little bit more about Spurs, and hopefully we join ourselves together tomorrow morning to enjoy the fact that Spurs have won a game of football. Go enjoy the rest of your days, everyone, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Peace.